Hey all, welcome to ShareTreck. This is Raj here. Today I want to talk to you about Verve Therapeutics. Last time I spoke to you, I had brought you some bad news about how there was a setback with their Verve 101 with some adverse events with one of their patients, actually their sixth patient in their trial. And today I want to bring you a message of hope. So I hope you watch this video till the end and get the message. I think there's a good opportunity here in Verve Therapeutics. Of course, my personal opinion, not financial advice. So with that said, let's get started. Welcome back, friends. Verve Therapeutics has encountered a setback in its phase 1b Heart-1 study of its leading gene editing program called Verve 101. And the company has halted enrollment into it due to a serious adverse event as announced recently. And a patient who received a dose of Verve 101 experienced elevated levels of liver enzymes and a drop in platelet count, both attributed to the treatment. Fortunately, there were no accompanying clinical symptoms, but an independent monitoring board recommended a pause while Verve investigates further to find the root cause and make further plans. This development led to a very significant drop in Verve's stock price. It dropped almost 31% in pre-market trading, and CEO Sekar Kathiresan acknowledged that there is an issue, attributing it to the delivery system used for Verve 101. Despite this setback, the company remains committed to its gene editing endeavors, shifting focus to Verve 102. Now, I'd like to take a pause here and really commend Verve for taking this in their stride and taking a quick decision to shift emphasis to Verve 102 instead of wasting another 6 months going through a whole lot of deliberations. So that's the first point. And then you would say, Raj, wouldn't that be reckless to make such a quick decision? No, in this case it is not, because they have some specific reasons which I'll elaborate as I go further, and you will understand why. So just to recap, earlier on June 2023, Verve Therapeutics had announced an exclusive research collaboration with Eli Lilly and company focused on advancing Verve's preclinical stage in vivo gene editing program targeting lipoprotein A. Elevated LPA or lipoprotein A is an established and genetically validated independent risk factor for ASCVD or atherosclerotic cardiovascular disease and ischemic stroke, thrombosis, and aortic stenosis. Later on in November 2023, Eli Lilly acquired Beam Therapeutics opt-in rights to Verve Therapeutics gene therapy programs for cardiovascular diseases. This relationship with Eli Lilly is relatively new and is potentially facing some stress at this point of time, but the fact remains that Eli Lilly is a huge partner with a great financial capability, and that is a big assistance to Verve in my opinion. In terms of outlook, Verve plans to initiate the Heart-2 phase 1b trial of Verve 102 in patients with HeFH or premature coronary artery disease in the second quarter of 2024. So it's not too far away. We are already in the second quarter right now as we are in April. So in the next 2 months, we are going to see some action in this area. While Verve 102 uses the same base editor and guide RNA for PCSK9 as Verve 101, it swaps out the LNP for second generation LNP that incorporates GAINAC. The internally developed GAINAC LNP is also being used for Verve 201 to deliver a base editor targeting another gene, ANGPTL3, to the liver. Now, GAINAC stands for N-acetylgalactosamine. Incorporation of GAINAC allows the LNP in Verve 102 to access liver cells using either acyl-glycoprotein receptor or the low-density lipoprotein receptor, that is LDLR, whereas Verve 101 only accesses liver cells through LDLR. So now there is more opportunities to access the liver using two gateways. I think the gene target is good as per the management, and I believe them, and the ionizable lipid has already been used in third-party clinical trials of gene editing product candidate and has been well tolerated in those trials. Therefore, no adverse effects should should be expected from this new LNP. The incorporation of GAI-NAC increases the accessibility to the liver cells by also introducing one more channel of getting into the liver cells. So both Verve 101 and Verve 102 target the PCSK9 gene with promising results from Heart-1 study demonstrating a significant reduction in LDL-C levels. Despite the setback, Verve Therapeutics continues to strive towards its goal of addressing cholesterol-related conditions through innovative gene editing technology. Verve had disclosed that it had $624 million in cash and cash equivalents on its balance sheet at the end of 2023, providing a cash runway into late 2026. They also incurred a net loss of $200 million for 2023. While R&D expenses as well as G&A expenses rose, overall, they ended up the year with around $625 million, $624 million in their balance sheet. So that is a big highlight number that I'm looking at. Now, Verve has fallen from a high of $24.6 in 2023 to a low of $8.52 at the close of Friday, 5th April 2024, with a market capitalization of $669.24 million. If we take out the cash balance of $625 million or $624 million, that leaves us with $45 million as the value of the company and its intellectual properties. So I'm thinking that given its collaboration with Vertex and Eli Lilly and many candidates in the pipeline, as well as the potential start of Verve 102 phase 1B in the next 2 months, I think there is a good chance for the stock to regain some value and also do a gap fill of the gap down that has happened. Of course, this is my personal opinion and not financial advice. So please do your own research before making any investment decisions. So that's all for now. But before I leave, I want to take you to the price chart and show you the gap down and the prospect of a gap up to fill it. So here we are in the chart for Verve Therapeutics, and as you can see, there was a huge gap down and the fall was, I think, around 31%. Let me measure that once more. Let us see. Around 36%. That was the total fall. And since then, the chart had tried to consolidate, and we ended Friday at $8.52. So there is a huge gap out here all the way up to $12.72. So a potential gain of around 4 is on the card because the gap fill has to happen sooner rather than later. And I'm thinking that the catalyst of starting phase 1B for Verve 102 is going to be probably instrumental in moving the needle a little bit out here. And also as the market starts understanding how the new LNP works, and also look at other areas where the same LNP has been used and has not caused any adverse reaction, I think the risk factor for Verve 102 reduces significantly. And who knows, by the time that Verve 102 trial starts in earnest, Verve may already have some solution on how to proceed with Verve 101 by replacing the LNP with something else. So we'll see when it comes to. But I think that we have a good chance for a price up out here. And if you look at the momentum also, it has already fallen below its all-time low on the RSI. And also if you look at the MACD, it's as far away from the signal line as possible. And therefore, there is only one way for it to go, and that is to go up, because in my opinion, it's already at its very bottom. And the company is not as bad as the price seems to make it out to be. And we have their earnings coming up on 7th of May. So overall, I think in the short term at least, I see a little of bounce back, maybe 50 cents or 40 cents. So if one were to look at a gain, they could book a gain out there. So that's the way I would think. But again, this is not financial advice. This is just my personal opinion. So please do your own due diligence. Genomic stocks are inherently very risky because they don't have any product that has been monetized. And clinical trials are always dicey because anything can happen in a clinical trial. So just be careful out there. That's all for now. I'll be back with you with the next video soon. And till then, bye for now.